The Ainu are one of the only major ethnic minorities in the Japanese islands, with unique culture and distinct way of life. They were subject to forced assimilation and colonization after the arrival of the much larger Yamato population of Japan since at least the 18th century. Japanese assimilation policies in the 19th century around the Meiji Restoration forced Ainu peoples off their land and in turn forced them to give up traditional ways of life such as subsistence hunting and fishing. Ainu people were not allowed to practice their religion and were pushed into Japanese language schools where speaking the Ainu language was forbidden. In 1966, there were about 300 native Ainu speakers. In 2008, there were about 100.
The Ainu language historically had no writing system of its own. Speakers of different Ainu dialects cannot understand each other easily. However, all Ainu speakers understand the classic Ainu epics. Without a writing system, the Ainu are masters of narration, with tales being committed and relayed at gatherings.
Traditional Ainu culture is very different from Japanese culture. The Ainu never shave after a certain age, with men typically having full beards and moustaches. Men and women both cut their hair at shoulder level. The women tattoo their mouths and sometimes their forearms. The mouth tattoos start at a young age with a small spot on the upper lip, gradually increasing in size as they grow older. Traditional Ainu dress consists of a robe spun from the inner bark of the elm tree. The various styles consist of a simple short robe with straight sleeves folded around the body and tied with a band around the waist.
Traditional Ainu cuisine consists of the meat of bears, foxes, wolves, badgers, oxen, and horses, as well as fish, fowl, millet, vegetables, herbs, and roots. The Ainu traditionally never eat raw fish or meat, always boiling or roasting it. Ainu cuisine is not commonly eaten outside of indigenous communities.
The Ainu's traditional habitations are reed-thatched huts, the largest about 20 foot square, with a fireplace in the center. There is no chimney, only a hole at the angle of the roof. One window sits on the eastern side along with two doors. Instead of using furniture, Ainu traditionally would sit on the floor, which would be covered with two layers of mats, one of rush and the other of water flag, a plant with long sword-shaped leaves. For beds, planks are spread and mats are hung around them on poles, employing skins for coverlets. Men use chopsticks when eating, and women use wooden spoons.
A kami is a spiritual or divine being in Ainu mythology, including animals, plants, the weather, or even human tools. There are many rituals to send back the kami to the heavens with gifts, including the yomante, the bear sacrifice ceremony. The rituals center around the idea of releasing the kami from their disguises that they have put on to visit the human world. The Kamui choose the hunter that will hunt them, giving them the flesh of the animal in return. Once the disguise is broken, the Kamui are free to return to their world with gifts from humans.
Over 15,000 years ago, the hunter-gatherer lifestyle flourished in Hokkaido until around 2,000 years ago, whereupon the island was colonized by the Yayoi people. The Yayoi caused the inhabitants of Hokkaido to shift away from hunting and gathering towards agriculture.
During the Muromachi period, the Japanese established a settlement at the southernmost point of Hokkaido. As more people moved to the settlement to avoid battle, dispute arose between Japanese and the Ainu, eventually developing into war.
Was known as Ezochi until the Meiji Restoration. Through colonial practices, Ezochi was annexed into Japanese territory and renamed Hokkaido. Hokkaido became equal with other prefectures in 1947 when the revised local autonomy law became effective.
Kamuibetsu is a town in the north of Hokkaido, Japan, bordering on a national park. There are very few families that live in the town center, with the majority of the inhabitants being farmers or older residents. A number of motorcyclists and tourists pass through the town on their way to the national park, but the traffic is a ghost of what it once was, back when the railway was running. Is it that angler again?
Yes! Hello!
They must.
Many bed and breakfast and hospitality establishments in Kamuibetsu struggled to make ends meet after the railway stopped running. Over time, individuals seeking work moved to more populated areas, leaving behind an older and less mobile population. They still beautify the town, grow vegetables, and meet at the shrine for a drink or two. But the same kind of vibrancy in the town would never be seen again, until now.